Summers as a 16-year-old were pretty great. No responsibilities of school. And really, there were three things that happened to me every day of the summer when I was 16. I would wake up early. We would have early morning basketball workouts at the high school. Get home and have a little break in the day. And then in the afternoon, go off to work. I was a busboy at the local Italian restaurant owned by some fellow parishioners. A great first job. But it was in that in-between, basketball workouts and going to work, that I discovered one of the great discoveries of my life. It was a television show called The Price is Right. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. It's a game show, and it's been around for a very long time. Well, when you watch The Price is Right, it's a high-energy show. Things move quickly. People are called up, and they don't just walk up to the front, they run. They're so excited to be a part of the show. And then if you get chosen to be a part of the show, you get the opportunity to win stuff. And one of the things that has made The Price is Right and other game shows like it so successful is that there's a certain element of drama in the show. As you're watching it, they have these kind of big doors, almost like a garage. And behind that door is a prize. But nobody knows what it is. And so they say, here's this new game, and if you win, you're going to win. And then there's this pause, dramatic pause, 2-3 seconds, and everyone is just on the edge of their seat. You can't wait to see what's behind there, even though I'm sitting at home and I'm never going to win it. And then the door opens, and it's a car or a living room set or whatever it may be that this person now has the opportunity to win. And what's amazing is the person starts jumping up and down, so excited, just at the opportunity to win it. It's a certain kind of dramatic revelation. The door opens, and behind it is revealed the prize. This word revelation we use in our modern day. You see it a lot with families that are expecting a child. We call them gender reveal parties. Maybe you've seen them. Maybe you've been to one. I think they've kind of peaked and are going away. But I went to one a couple years back. Some former students of mine from Tulsa were pregnant with triplets. It was the best gender reveal party I've ever been to. There were 3 big balloons. And in those balloons were either blue confetti for a boy, pink confetti for a girl. And so, mom and dad step up, they hit the first one, pink. Everybody cheers. The second one, blue. Everybody cheers. And now the tiebreaker. The third one, pink. 2 girls and a boy. The excitement, the joy of that dramatic moment. What's it going to be, this or that? And then the gender of the baby is then revealed, and everybody knows it. The idea of revelation, I think, is not something that we talk about enough. But in our great tradition, revelation has happened and is, in many ways, still happening. When we open the scriptures, when you just heard several verses from the Bible, from the scriptures, that is God's revelation to us. When God gave us the scriptures, it's God revealing himself. I've heard the Bible described as a love letter from God to his people, revealing his love. As a kid, I remember learning the word Bible means basic instructions before leaving earth. It's God's instruction manual to us. He's revealing himself. He's revealing his love. He's revealing what he wants us to know. Now, in our great Catholic tradition, there's even more revelation than the scriptures. We have the Bible, but we also have the great tradition of the church, the teachings of the church going all the way back to the time of the apostles. God reveals himself. Well, the ultimate revelation comes to us at a certain point in history, and it's when God took on flesh. We heard about it in the second reading today from the first letter of St. John, that at a certain point in history, God, who has always been and always will be, took on human flesh in the womb of the Blessed Virgin Mary. That child was born and grew up. And at the age of around 30, he began a public ministry of teaching and healing. And then around the age of 33, in a very dramatic week, he suffered. He was killed. And 3 days later, he rose from the dead. You want to talk about drama? You want to talk about an exciting week in the life of humanity? Look no further than what we celebrate every year during Holy Week, the passion, the death, and the resurrection of Jesus. You want to talk about drama? You want to talk about revelation? That in the person of Jesus Christ, God reveals himself. God reveals his love. And God loves us so much. God loves us so much, the scriptures tell us that he sent his son, not just to say, hello, hi, I love you. Not just to say it, but to show us. And to show us what love looks like. It's why in our churches, in our homes, around our necks, it's why we wear a crucifix. We get to see every day, look at what God did for you. Out of love, he came to us. He sent his son to suffer, to die, and to rise. Revelation. He showed us his love. We're very privileged here at this church to have a lot of weddings. It's beautiful, especially this time of year, May, June, July. A couple engaged couples out here, several getting married just in the next couple weeks. It's a beautiful gift to witness the vows at a wedding. But even those couples who are super in love with each other, you can't possibly reveal all of your love all in that one day. When you have a child, when that child is born or brought into the home via adoption, the parents cannot possibly express all of their love for that child all in one day. That love then is revealed. It comes about over time through words and through actions. The same is true of God's love for you and me. It comes to us constantly. And God beckons us, you and me, to a great adventure. How boring would life be if you knew every single thing that was going to happen to you for the rest of your life? You might say, well, I could plan better. That's fair. But life would be boring if your entire day was mapped out. Every conversation, every interaction, every life decision already mapped out. But it's not the way it is. God reveals himself. God reveals his plan for your life and mine over time. And we shouldn't want it any other way because there's a great adventure in living our faith. There's a great adventure in not knowing what does today bring. What does next year bring? What does 5 years from now bring? Lots of you just graduated from OSU yesterday, right? Who knows where life is going? But that's the great adventure of it. And that's especially true. That's especially true as followers of Jesus Christ. There is an adventure to following him because we don't know where he's going to take us. You look at the great saints, St. Francis Xavier, after whom our church is named. He grew up in an incredibly wealthy family in this big country castle in Spain. Little did he know that by following Jesus Christ, the greatest adventure of his life would begin as a missionary to India and to Japan and to China. He lived his life as an adventure, taking one day at a time, God constantly revealing himself. And so, what about you? Are we open to this great adventure? Are we open to what God is trying to do in our lives? We don't know what it will be, but when we are close to Jesus Christ and close to his church, You can guarantee for yourself an adventure, ups and downs, twists and turns. It may even bring with it certain difficulties, certain sufferings. When we live our faith proudly, when we live our faith out loud in our workplaces and in our schools and in our community, you better believe that some people are going to push back. Some people don't want us to. It's the great adventure. And so I encourage you, especially as we come out of graduation, as we head into the summer, as some of you preparing to get married, young people thinking about what it is that life is going to do, maybe some of you considering a job change, maybe adopting a child, taking in a foster child, any of these kind of great adventures that life can throw at us. Inviting Jesus Christ into this great adventure that is our lives. Because through the ups and downs, through this revelation that's constantly coming to us, there is one constant, and that is the love of God. That through the ups and downs, through the joys and through the sufferings, God has come to us, and he loves us. And so whatever comes, we need not fear. We can wake up today and tomorrow and the next day, not knowing what it will bring, but knowing that the Lord is with us. And so in this Mass, as we receive the Eucharist today, as we hear his word, his revelation to us, may you and I be strengthened for this great adventure, that whatever may come, that the constant love and revelation of God would guide us and be with us.